Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome to the video where I'm going to break down what you get when you download the Creative Kit free, Spline tool. It's a layout tool, basically. It's an editor tool, and it was voted on in my Discord for hitting, in celebration of hitting 200 Discord members. This is what our community voted on. So I'm putting it out there. You can download it for free. The link will be in the description. And if you want to participate in, other polls and stuff like that, just join the Discord server. So basically, this is what you'll get when you download it. And like I said, it's free. The link will send you to my Patreon, but you shouldn't. Anybody should be able to download it for free. You might have to give your email, but that's about it. And you'll basically just get this folder, which is Creative Kit Spline Tool. It's going to have a spline tool blueprint, a demo map, and a couple example materials. Now, this is just the first version. I plan to add some more features, especially once I get some feedback from people. I want to try to add maybe some like looping rotations or looping animations and stuff like that, to where the meshes on the spline can like bobble and rotate and stuff like that. But so first thing, if we drag it in and we make sure we're in our details panel, you'll see we have a lot of settings now. Um, we have basically meshes. We have flags. I tried to organize everything, the collision, the material you want to use, the scale, location, rotation. And I'm just going to go through all of them, but I'm hoping it's pretty self-explanatory. So basically in the settings, if we go to mesh first, we have a main spline mesh, a start spline mesh, and an end spline mesh. And we have flags for whether to use different meshes for the start and end. And if I turn those off, you'll see now everything is just the main spline mesh. And if you don't know, when you have a spline, if you click on it, you get these points that you can, spread out. And the point of something like this is to be able to, basically do the spline. If we go to top view, do the spline however you'd like, and it'll spread meshes along that spline. Now, I'm going to keep it right here just because it's a little easier to see the whole spline. But if we go back to the spline tool, if we say use a different start mesh, the first point will use whatever mesh is in the start spline mesh. And if we use different spline mesh for the end, those flags, will dictate whether we want to use a different mesh for the beginning and end. And I did that just for basically, I was thinking about like roads or like fences. You may have a gate at the end or at the start or like something different, but you want the middle to be just like a wooden fence, and then you have a gate at the end. So that's why I did that. We have collision settings basically. And right now these are for all the meshes. This will be their collision setting. And it has to where you can define the object type, the enabled settings, and the profile name. But you can also manually set collision response per channel and manually set collision response to all channels. And you have like a manual collision map. So you can say, like, say we wanted to manually set the collision response per channel. We have a map right here where we can say, okay, for world dynamic, I want this to be overlap. And for, world static, it can be ignore. And so those are the collision options. And for now, I'm going to change this eventually in the second version. I plan to change that to where you can determine the collision for the start and end meshes separately. But for now, it's all uniform. Now, in the material section, if I go back, I have these example materials. We go back here and I say CK spline. Yeah, we have these. So the main start mesh, we can say blue, or I'm sorry, the main mesh, we can do blue. And if we, let's say, want to use a different start mesh, and we say CK spline pink, and let's get back into perspective. You can see that, let me click back on that we have different, let me make another one actually. And now these are just example materials. Like you would use your own presumably, but if you wanted to make just these random emissive materials, you could obviously use these. But let's go to the third one and we do green and then we say enable a different start mesh. So you can see now that you know these these meshes are all using different materials. So that's, I feel like, kind of pretty standard thing to do. So let's disable this again. And as soon as you clear these, then they will go away. They won't use, like, you can check this doesn't have a flag whether to use the custom materials or not. It's just if you set a material, it's gonna use it. If not, it's not gonna do it. Now one of the cool things I wanted to show is that if we look at this mesh, you can see that the rotation of the object of the meshes, if we look at this spline from above, if you look at the rotation of the objects, they're just all facing the same way. And for a lot of cases, you probably don't want that to happen. You kind of want the mesh to like bend along the spline. So if we go back into the settings and we go to rotation, we have an offset. You can't really see what it's doing with that, but let me go back into perspective. We have a basically a uniform rotation offset, but we also have it to where if I reset that, we have a flag here that says rotation follows the spline. And now if I mess with that a little bit, you can see this is the before and this is after where the meshes kind of bend along the the curve. And so if I go back to these, you also have some flags for rotation randomize the rotation for X, Y, and Z. So if I uncheck this and check this, it's going to randomize the X rotation and the Z and Y. And you can see, and that's for each individual mesh. And right here under randomize, we have the min and max for each of the randomized values. So I thought that was cool. And now this kind of setting it exists for scale and location as well. So if we go into location, we have the flags for randomize the locations, and then we have the min and maxes for the offset. So if I these are all set to what 0 and 50. So if I randomize these and we go to top view, you can see that they follow the spline, but they have some, randomization in the placement of them. Now if I uncheck these, there we go. And you can see we also have this offset, which is going to be basically, this is going to be the uniform offset of all the meshes, just like the rotation. They'll all move the same way if you wanted to offset it from the actual spline. And this spline mesh spacing offset is basically, it will determine the spacing of the meshes in the spline. So this will kind of determine how many meshes you have, I guess you could say. And eventually I want to add just a manual override for this. You could say I just want 10, or I just want, instead of having to define the spacing. And then if we go to scale, it's the same kind of thing. We have the mesh scale. If we scale this, this will just uniformly scale. And then we have the same kind of thing. We can randomize the scale X, Y, and Z. We have minimum scale. Let's drop this to 0.25, 0.25, and maybe 1.5. So it's a little less extreme, and you can kind of see that they're totally randomized with scale. And so hopefully you can kind of see the value of something like this. And like I said, I plan to advance it in different versions. This is just the first version I wanted to put out. And so people can download and get some use out of it. And as feedback starts coming in, I'll improve it in different ways. And I've tried to organize these in a pretty self-explanatory way. And I think it'll be a cool tool for you guys to use. And like I said, the link will be in the description. You'll get this project and then you'll just, you'll have this folder right here in this current project, and say you wanted to use it in another project, you would just right click the folder, migrate, hit OK, and then you would find your project and then go into the content folder of that project and then hit OK. And then when you open that project, that tool will be inside of it. Hopefully that makes sense. And I just wanted to get this video out to, kind of help people who maybe were a little confused, and just to let people know that they're on, you know, thanks to the communities, the Discord, my Discord community, you guys have a free, blueprint tool to use as needed. And I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next video, which should be out tomorrow or the next day. Thanks.